So, I told you guys that when all of my new stuff comes in and I can show you all the upgrades I've been making behind the scenes that I was going to, and well, it happened a lot faster than I assumed. I thought I was in for like another week waiting. So, introducing, behold, the new review stage. We'll get into that here in a little bit, because there's a lot to talk about with this, but I want to get through a whole lot of the other little things first, as well as just get a few others, a bit of a reminder. So first off, if you want to follow me somewhere other than Twitter and Facebook, because I always have my Twitter and Facebook links in the description, I'll also let you guys know that I am now on Tumblr at TJOmega, and then I am also on Instagram at The Plastic Addict. I don't use either one so much right now, but depends on the kind of followers that it builds up and how many people would be interested in following me there. Because I know there's all kinds of different social medias these days, and I'm not too up on any of them, frankly. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of more ways to follow me now. I'll link them in the description, so it's nice and easy to click and follow. I probably should set up a Discord at some point. Everyone does Discord these days, but I don't know how much I'm actually going to use it, so I still have to look into that one. I know, I've been more interested in getting all the physical stuff upgraded. And while I'm still on the digital, just a reminder that there is TJOmega.net now as my new website where all of TJTV has been re-uploaded thanks to the magic that is VidMe. So you can go and rewatch all of those old episodes as well as wait for new ones. I was supposed to get one up for Halloween. The script didn't quite materialize fast enough. But don't worry, part of November is a brand new type of video, something I've never done before, that will be exclusive to TJOmega.net and brought to you thanks to the VidMe platform. So stay tuned for that. I'm having a lot of fun writing it. It's going to be a beast to edit, but I think it's a really cool thing. So hopefully you guys enjoy that when it comes out. Beyond that, there is the physical. For starters, le voila. I'll go ahead and give you a actual picture of what the stage looks like a little bit closer up, because I know a little bit hard to see in the lighting. It's hard to actually get a light in here while I am sitting in front of it. So this is the new review stage, replacing the old foam boards, which I still have, just because there's a lot of holes in this, just so I want to make sure that those don't really expose anything. But yeah, so this is, if you're not familiar with these are mechanical chain bases. This is something that Kotobukiya makes that are basically interchangeable and chainable, buildable displays. They're supposed to be for Gundam models, but they make a really good, just techie background for just about anything. Now, I desperately wanted to avoid using these because I know a bunch of other reviewers use chain bases as their backdrops, Vangelis in particular, who I've already been accused of ripping off in the past because we both reviewed Transformers on dark backgrounds. This is the wonders of YouTube. So I really wanted to avoid that. I wanted it to look different. I wanted an alternative, but I didn't want cardboard, like the cardboard display-based setups that look like the Ark and the Nemesis. That would have been so easy. That's available anytime I want it. But one of the reasons I wanted to ditch the foam board was because it gets dirty so easily. I wanted something plastic. I wanted something I could clean and dust off. And, if something gets spilled or it gets marked up or anything, I can just wipe it off. Like, I just wanted it to not look so freaking cheap and messy and all this. And foam board's great if you're starting out. It gives you a very inexpensive backdrop you can just go get, and that way you don't have to worry about desk or shelf clutter. You don't have to worry about, like, if you're trying to review on your bed, because I've seen that. Yeah, you don't. It's a great universal. But it also for as long as I've been doing this, I really should have upgraded a long time ago. But bottom line, I wanted to avoid chain bases. I wanted to, really badly. But at the time there were at the time when I bought these, there were no alternatives. In fact, there really weren't any official alternatives. Kotobukiya just recently started re-releasing chain bases, so those are super expensive when you start to need a whole bunch of them. Well, I decided to go after the knockoff version domain bases. Well, they're still really good quality plastic. They're darker plastic, which is actually better to use as a backdrop, more contrast. And I wanted it because they're cheaper, like half the price, and they're still good. They'll hold up pretty good. So I scoured the internet. And what I didn't realize is they haven't been made in years. Despite the overwhelming popularity that chain bases have, the domain-based knockoffs just seem to vanish. I mean, I think Captured Prey, if you're familiar with that online shop for Transformers, they used to sell chain bases in kits and even in parts. I wish they still did. So I had to scour the internet looking for any shop that still had a bunch of these in stock. Finally found one out of Malaysia. And okay, so I did my calculations. To replace this backdrop, I'm going to need a 3x5 wall of chain bases. So I end up ordering 16 sets, which for $5 a pop came up to about 80 bucks. That's not so bad if it's going to be like, you know, an investment that will last me for years and years and up the production value of my stuff that much, because it looks so much better and it doesn't look so cheap anymore. Malaysia's a long way away, like 11,000 miles away, like literally on the other side of the planet away. I had not anticipated that. So when I bought these, they had to send me the shipping quote separately. And after 4 days, they hadn't told me the shipping price yet, so I had to email them. And the response I got boiled down to, it's too big and heavy to weigh here. That's about the worst response you could give me. Shipping these things was $100. Kind of feeling that, honestly. Was not expecting a hit like that this month. Pre-orders have been canceled. So, yeah, this was a much heftier investment than I had originally planned, but it should be a worthwhile one. I've already had a bunch of fun just figuring out the layout that I wanted and just staging shots and seeing what cool photos I can do with it. I'll go ahead and show you the original layout that I was going to do. I really like that layout, how it brings some of the background forward a little bit, and the back cavity kind of creates some cool dynamic shadow effects. I was really into that. Unfortunately, it wouldn't work for what I intended because I had bought another upgrade. And I'll go ahead and show you. This is a rotating display base, specifically an electronic one that will basically do what the old stage from TJ Reviews did. So, for instance, let's see. We have a conveniently placed Galaxy Meteor here. I'll go ahead and set him down on that and flip the switch and... So yeah, that's to recreate the rotation I used to do in the TJ Reviews, which gives it a more professional look. You don't see my hands in the shots as often, but it was still really awkward trying to use my finger to rotate the old tray around manually the whole time. So this simplifies the shooting greatly, and it's way smoother and way more consistent. This will create, I think, some really professional looking visuals. So this I'm looking forward to trying out. Now the downside is this thing is huge for the stage. If you can see right now, there is a very evident problem. Galaxy Meteor here is about as big as a toy can get before he starts getting higher than the actual top. You know, this is where my purchases kind of backfired a little bit. I bought 16 of them because a 3x5 wall was going to cover that whole space in the review board. And I figured if I'm reviewing something big, I'll just rebuild it into a 3x5. These walls and the back walls do not connect that way. Did not know that. So yeah, that won't work. Unless I get really creative with how it's built, unfortunately that will not be a solution. So I might have to buy more. This is why I didn't name the store I got them from, just in case I have to go back. I don't want to go back. That was a huge hit to my budget. I don't want to do it again anytime soon. But I'm gonna work with what I got for now. I don't anticipate reviewing anything larger than this guy anytime soon. I want him to be the first TJ reviews on the entire setup once the whole thing is done. You know, I'm really eager to use this, but I want to make sure everything works right. Like, I'm still playing with the design a little bit. I like these like second tiers. Like, if I'm reviewing a deluxe, it's too zoomed in to see them. But anything larger than that, I can put extra figures up here, and like we can make this where size comparisons and accessories are. So it will play a part in the review itself, which I think is a really fun element. And it's one thing that chain bases make possible, so maybe I'm happy that I got stuck with those. But wanting to avoid them so badly, of course, this is just how everything works in life. I searched for weeks trying to find some alternative to the chain base, failed, and then, while these were on the way, 2 alternatives came up. Dr. Wu created his own modular wall system that pegs together with like universal hinges, and then there's another one with a like Tetris block style assembly that just got announced too. Now luckily I don't like the look of either of them as much as I like the look of these. They're not as three-dimensional, you know, they don't have as much depth or techie detail that I like, and they seem like, well, the Dr. Wu ones seem really thin, so I don't think they would stack well or create a wall big enough for my needs. And the other ones are just like literally there's only one mold for the floor and the wall, so I think that would get really boring visually. You see, that was the cool thing about this, because I can set up extra girders and platforms. I have little detail greeble in the background, to where I can make it, I can give it some depth, and I can give the look some variety, and I can even mount things that are useful to the review. I'm looking forward to playing with it just as a review tool. So that's what the new review stage is going to look like. Galaxy Meteor is coming, but I want to make sure I do this toy justice, so I'm taking my time with the script. It's probably going to be tomorrow's random review that breaks in the new display. I cannot wait for the first person to accuse me of ripping off Vangelis because he used chain bases first. I literally have audio of him saying, no, it's like, this is not a problem. You know, but that's beside the point. It's gonna happen, but you know, you have to just kind of be amused at it when you're in this YouTube review game. So that's the upgrades. Oh, and just in case you missed it, still have this guy to pay off. Yeah, that if you didn't see the update video before, this is the other piece of upgrade. This is 4K, 60 frames per second. But I'm kind of counting on Santa Claus to give me the upgrades I need to make this thing a daily tool in what I do, because my hard drives aren't big enough for the footage it records. I only have one memory card that's fast enough and large enough for the footage, and I'm probably going to need to upgrade my editing software because my current version of Adobe Premiere does not know what 4K is. Always great. So it'll be fun when it's ready for that, but like I've been trying to get stuff sold on eBay to pay off the camera debt on that, and unfortunately expenses came up, hurricane came up, and if you didn't see yesterday, started a GoFundMe for Danielle's dog who needs dental surgery, and she's exhausted all of her savings trying to make sure this dog had everything it needed and all of it, and had everything else that was wrong with it all cleared up, but we still have the teeth to deal with. So you'll excuse me if I beat that one into the ground a little bit in future videos. I might do like little heads up before the videos just to let people know that the fundraiser is going on, etc., etc. But that's why I haven't been pushing the eBay sales very hard, because like because I know toy collectors. If anyone has burnable income, it is toy collectors. But right now, I have a cause that I am pushing for rather than my own. So I would rather help out her and her dog rather than pay off the camera. I have the time to pay off the camera. The dog is in pain now, so that's your priorities. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know what is coming up, probably starting tomorrow. So it's not such like a drastic huge thing and you weren't ready for it, but this is the new review stage. I'm so looking forward to it. The base itself is way too big, but it's the only one I could find that spins slowly enough. All the other ones that are smaller spin like almost twice as fast, which does not work for my needs. But this will help out tremendously when it is ready. So, look forward to it. Things are going to start looking a whole lot more interesting here on out. And yeah, the new part of November is coming soon. I'm already in the process of working on the first project. Well, I'm actually working on like all 3 projects at the same time right now, but the first one should not be very long. Look forward to it.